Running today with the GTX 1070. This is a 2016 video card with 1920 shaders. It's got 8 GB of VRAM GDDR5 running at 1519 MHz on the core clock and 2002 MHz on the memory clock. It's got 256 bits bus width, and we're gonna pair it up with this Xeon W3690 with 6 cores and 12 threads. I think this is a fantastic video card, and I think we need to see how it's running with the system, because maybe this is a very good pair. Let's jump in and see how it holds. Let's start with Fortnite. You know, this computer, this GPU, this interesting combination, apparently on 1080p with normal details performance mode, it's drawing up nearly, what, 280 watts consumption on this computer. I mean, it's kind of good performance overall. It's not a bad situation. You can actually see it's doing fantastic on average. The minimal is not great, but I will talk about it because it's from the CPU side. I mean, it's from the CPU. Considering the age of the CPU, I would say this is still a fantastic performance considering the age, you know. But you can actually see it's taking 8.8 gig of system RAM. On the GPU side, you can actually see it's using only 1.4 gig of VRAM. You can actually see on this video card that is one single unit, KATANA, and it's got 47 degrees. I mean, the GPU is not being utilized. Only this amount of VRAM used. Come on, it's okay. On 40% load on the core of the video card is still decent. You can actually see the dips in the FPS when I'm zooming. I don't think it's a problem with the video card. I think it's just you know, the system is old, you know, the HP Z400 and the CPU. I mean, can't blame it, you know, considering the age. I will say this is a decent performance. But if we're jumping in Fortnite with this computer, with this GPU and the CPU, you can actually see the GPU and the system is doing a fantastic job, you know. The CPU it's holding here with 60 degrees apparently, with 30-40% load, with 6.5 gig of system RAM being utilized. On the CPU side, you can actually see it's being utilized, you know, but not too much, but in definitely in a decent capacity in order to deliver this 240 FPS. Not stress, just enough so we can get nice FPS. On the overall system, you can actually see that the GPU only uses 1.4 gig of VRAM, and it's a decent performance overall. I like it. I like this type of gameplay from this system. Seriously, 30% load on the video card. I mean, the temperature is okay with this video card, and kind of great overall. I really like how it's performing. Seriously, look at this. I want to show you the performance here with PUBG. PUBG is one of those games that works really nice. I got 1080p with maximum details, 100% render scale. I want to put this computer, this GPU on its edge, and I wanted to see which component it's going to the maximum, you know. It's looking okay, you know, it's not that bad, and I think the overall performance is gonna be okay. Holy sh... Oh yeah. Yeah. Daniel, you don't know how to drive the Dacia. I'm very disappointed on you. Okay, so look at this. I wanted to see the GPU on its knees, so today I managed to put this. With PUBG, I managed to put this video card on its knees. No, not on its knees. I wanted to see if it's overheating, you know. I wanted to see if this video card it's actually getting some job done. And it's doing the job, you know. You can actually see maximum core load on the video card. The VRAM, it's reaching 5 gig. That's actually okay for a video card like this. Would you expect more from this video card? Because it's kind of great, you know. Overall performance from the video card is good. So let's jump in Crossout here with medium details, 1080p, not legacy mode, so performance mode was disabled. Yeah, I don't need it because I want to see some quality here. I want to see the GPU loaded, so on 1080p you can actually see it's doing a fantastic job. Not lots of load from the CPU. I mean, there is load, but not too much, because I want the GPU to have some too. Seriously, I want this video card to do its job. I want to utilize this video card. Oh, definitely it's working really nice. So the CPU overall is doing great. 6.5 gig of system RAM being utilized. 66 degrees. I can actually see the temperature on this CPU being a little higher, you know, but it's okay, you know. If I look on the cores and the threads, you know, you can actually see that a couple of threads are reaching maximum, but nothing too scary. On the GPU side, I got 130 watts consumption apparently on maximum, but it stays around 100, and that is okay with 347 watts consumption. 350. Damn, this is actually the maximum I've seen, but I got the FPS. You can actually see hundreds of FPS, 81 minimals, and yeah, even though it's on maximum load, you know, the video card on this occasion, you can actually see is doing fantastic. 100% fan speed, so I can keep that temperature on check. And yeah, overall it looks fantastic, it runs fantastic, so there is nothing to complain here. Crossout is one of those games that can be played with the system. But if we're jumping in Dota 2 with this system, apparently it gave me 80 FPS. But for some reason, I just jump in and I didn't know what settings I have. Oh yes, look at this. Maximum, best looking 1080p. And apparently we are going to get nice performance. Let's see. So it's doing a fantastic job. Look at this. Maximum details, 1080p. It's utilizing less than... look at this, it's not utilizing nothing here. It's doing fantastic. 1.7 gig of VRAM utilized, 40% load on the core. That's nothing, you know. Maybe go middle. Maybe middle is something more interesting. Level 6 and with Storm Spirit. You can actually see the FPS is kind of fantastic, you know. Yeah, but on maximum details with 29 on minimal. I don't want that, because you know what happens if you have 60-70 FPS like this in the game, and then you go in a team fight. You know what happens? You know, every single time you're gonna fight, your computer is gonna go. Let's see how it's working in XDefiant with maximum details. I put everything. You can, based on the wattage, you can actually see I'm using the video card. There is no problem in this situation with this video card. You can actually see it's doing this job. 98% load on the core, 2.5 gig of VRAM utilized. I mean, it's kind of great, you know. It's something that I want from a video card like this to help the CPU. But the CPU, it's utilized. Look at this. 9 gig of system RAM being utilized, 60-70% load on the system with this configuration. I got even good minimals here. You can actually 35 minimals with 47 on 1%. It's doing fantastic, and the GPU is starting to utilize that VRAM in order to get better FPS, you know. 90-100 FPS average with maximum details. I will say from a video card like this, from a CPU like this, it's fantastic. Can't say nothing bad. If we're jumping in Counter-Strike with the system, you can actually see that the GPU is being utilized in this case. It's kind of interesting on 1080p with high details as a preset. You can actually see that the video card and the system is doing a fantastic job. The CPU is doing okay based on the temperature, you know. A lot of things this wattage meter is telling me, because if I don't have 300 watts consumption here, then I know that the system is not being utilized too much. You know what? I think that if I swap it to a lower details and make some custom settings, the CPU can push even better, and I think I can increase the FPS in this situation. But on high details as a preset, you can actually see that it's doing a fantastic work, you know. Let's take a look on the GPU side. You can actually see 50-60% load on the core of the video card, 51 degrees with 100% fan speed. It's okay. So an overall good performance from this, because it gives me 34 on minimals. If we're jumping in GTA 5 with this magnificent computer, look at this, 1080p maxed out everything. You can actually see that the GPU is doing a fantastic work. I mean, yeah, I like it. I like this idea, but I only got 40 FPS on average, and I think I have problems here from the CPU. It looks fantastic, it runs fantastic, you know, but I only got 260 watts consumption. So if I go on the CPU side, theoretically I need to see some threads, yes, that are maxed out. Yeah, a couple of them, they are reaching maximum, so hence why I got 40-50 FPS on average. But every single time I put any GPU here, this is the maximum this CPU can do. No matter what settings I do, this is the best it can do. The only thing I can lower, if I put lower details or let's say modify the render scale, it just puts higher minimals. But the FPS, it feels stuck to maximum 60 FPS. It cannot do more than this. It's weird, but that's it. I think the overall performance of this video card is fantastic. I think the overall performance of this computer is fantastic. I'm very grateful because I remember the day when I got this computer and I thought it was some magical computer. Considering it was for free, I was like, wow. I have a couple of more HPs from that collection. One I want in the future to get them here as soon as possible, because it will be a very nice idea to see other OEM computers, how they are performing. I like this computer a lot, you know, and maybe in the future it will be ideal to get more CPUs and try to test a few more CPUs, because Oh, not a bad idea. I have to just look on the list what I've tested. Maybe you want to see something more specific, you know, from this LGA 1366. You know, can bring it back because it's time to swap the CPU. I mean, I love the CPU, but it feels like we need something new. The whole point today was to see how this GTX 1070 is working with this computer, and it's working fantastic. I managed to see some nice performance overall. The only thing I don't recommend on this 1070 is this model Katana. This model Katana is expensive because it's very rare. It's freaking one unit. It's fantastic, you know, when it comes to, how shall I say, imagine having, I wish I had more because it's got possibility for SLI, you know, three-way SLI, if it makes any sense. The Katana itself, it's only for collection, this one, I think. You know, I don't understand what scenario would you want this video card as a one unit video card. You know, maybe in a small case or something like that would be ideal. I'm thinking that was the idea back in the days, but nowadays there are more powerful video cards that can fit in small cases, and this one only belongs to the collection. But I'm 100% sure there are smaller 1070s that are not very, how shall I say, rare like this one, and they are cheaper. I love it and hate it at the same time. I love it because it's unique and collectible, but I hate it because it's super slim and hard to cool, and it's squeaky, that fan. Give me this computer in a weekend and you will never see me. If I take this and I say, this is your computer for the weekend, you will never see me. I have so many games that I can play on this, and it's a fantastic machine. So yeah, I like it. I really like this. And if you have any suggestion for this machine or for this video card, leave a comment and I will see you very soon.